Hi Richard.
Hello Nathan.
Thanks for joining me. Recently, the Office for Product Safety and Standards has found a 100% failure rate in heat-soaked and toughened glass. Now, there was no question about the quality of the glass itself. They couldn't prove that those products were manufactured to a certain standard. Is this something that manufacturers and installers of products should be worried about, or is it something that will just pass?
I think it's something they should be worried about. Some people have said to me it's almost a reckoning, realistically. That used to be trading standards. They were under-resourced. Now, the OPSS has taken on the mantle, it seems, and their remit is very strongly to look at the legal aspects of producing products that go across your threshold of your business, basically.
If they find that you are not conforming with the regulations, can they shut a business down?
I believe, yeah, absolutely they can. I think what has been lost, CE marking and then UK CA marking came into effect from, it's been in effect for 13 years plus, and there has not been any real policing, as far as I could see. I think that is a massive sea change. That has changed, and there is a serious government office looking at this, and whether it's product not correct initial type testing, whether it be that your paperwork's not quite right, your claims are not quite right, that is a legal claim. Your declaration of performance is a legal claim that you must adhere to, and if that's wrong, or you don't have the evidence to sell your product, you should not be selling it. It's as simple as that. You should not bring it to market.
The news story that came out was pushed out by the GGF. It was very much about the manufacturers, the glass manufacturers of this glass. So really, if you're not a glass manufacturer, there's no need to be worried, right?
No, absolutely, there is reason to worry. I've recently done some work for a client. He has been investigated by the OPSS, and he is having a revisit. And I would say they were a significantly respectable company, has done a lot of testing. Even with all of that and doing their job properly, the OPSS has found major problems with their claims on their website, and literally they have got solicitors involved. It's cost them tens of thousands of pounds. They are under serious stress about their business, and they understand there is a real threat. It is happening. It's not just glass. It's windows, doors, elements of glass. It's going to go, I believe personally, it's going to go through all the industry. I think it's not linked to certain products. Everyone who makes windows and doors or any components for them could be exposed, basically.
So you're working with this company. What's they requiring you to do?
You have to do initial type testing for these harmonised standards. They haven't knitted it together with what their claim. So they've mixed up, which the OPSS have gone into granular detail on to decipher what their DOP, their declaration of performance, what their legal claim is and what evidence they have. Now, they have lots of evidence, but what they've done is they've, let's say, cross-pollinated their evidence onto a different product range. Well, that doesn't count. They haven't packaged it right. And that is just as important, in my opinion, as not having the testing, because you haven't displayed it correctly. It's a false claim, and legally it's a false claim. It
almost seems ironic, because people talk about ticking boxes as a way of appearing to do the right thing.
That's just the fundamental problem. People, I've got my CE mark, a DOP, and I've seen loads of them, and you can tell that DOP, that report number doesn't make any sense, or it's not a notified body, or it's the wrong type of report. And that's in the public domain, remember, the DOP. You can request that. If someone buys your product, you can request that. I could look at a significant number of DOPs, and I could say, well, that's an illegal one, just by looking at that document that goes in the public domain. Never mind going behind the scenes, going into your factory, which the OPSS and others will do, and actually look at your processes and actually look at your evidence. And that's their right to do that. They have the power to do that. People are investigating this, and you need to be prepared. It's happening. It's not like it's going to happen. It is happening. And I think that's a different thing.
So right now, are you aware of any businesses that have had the shutters pulled down because they haven't met these legal requirements?
There have been threats, to my knowledge, that I've seen of that being done if it's not returned.
So if I'm a window fabricator, and I bring in sort of multiple components from third-party suppliers to build my windows, what should be the first thing I do?
You have to have a third party in as an approved body. But that doesn't mean you're compliant. That just means you've been checked once a year. The reality is it's up to the manufacturer to be correct, because no one else can take that responsibility apart from the manufacturer. They're the only people who produce this DOP. So a manufacturer needs to look at this initial type testing. It needs to look very closely at all their paperwork and their FPC, factory production control quality manuals, and what they put in the public domain, what they actually state. Because if that is wrong, they are legally exposed is really what I'm saying.
So I'm a window installer,
Yeah.
or I might be a specifier, someone who's further down the supply chain.
Yeah.
I don't need to worry then in that case.
If you make a trade frame and then someone else, you as an installer buy glass in, then it's your responsibility. You are now needing the DOP, okay? It's not the manufacturer, because he can't put a DOP or a UKCA or a CE mark on a frame. He can only do it on a finished product. So any large installer or small installer, combining them has the same response, becomes the manufacturer.
So if I'm turning up onto site and I've bought my frames in from a fabricator, I've got my local IGU supplier.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm working to tight margins.
Yeah.
Could this sort of thing really ruin my business model if I've got to now factor in extra declarations of conformity?
I don't think you can look at it that way. It's destroying your business model. Your business model is to be compliant. If you're not compliant, you don't have a business.
So what do I have to do to be compliant? If I'm an installer, what's the easiest route for me to prove compliance?
It depends on your size, but let's say it's a smaller installer. I would strongly suggest you buy the whole thing incomplete. Now, you can do it yourself. It's simple enough for you to do it, but you just have to know. You have to be either read it all yourself or have some guidance for someone like yourself, or to do it properly. But there are certain things you can't report on. So if you don't have the evidence for an acoustic value on your DOP, for example, but you claim it on your website because someone told you it was that, well, you can't do that, because everything you report on your website or in any forum, you have to put on your DOP as your legally. If it's not on your DOP that goes with the product, then basically you can't claim it on any other part of your. And this is what OPSS have looked at.
If you've put your the design of your website out to a third party,
Yeah.
and they've maybe copied a template from somewhere else, and they've just put all these facts down, if they're not careful, they could be creating huge problems for that window installer.
Absolutely. Again, the responsibility comes down to you. You have to take control of your business. You can't rely on someone else and wave a piece of paper from an approved body or from someone to say I'm compliant, because if you're not, it doesn't make any difference. It's even worse. It's a false claim you're putting forward.
And do you have a final message for the industry when it comes to this situation?
The reality is, I think with the OPSS involvement now, this is not going away. This is an ongoing and continual process. It's not a threat. It's not fear-mongering. They are looking to make sure that if you sell a product, especially if it's life safety or System 1 fire doors or ability to release, and even System 3, which is just your bog standard window, if you haven't got it correct, you will be taken to task on it. And if you can stop that escalating and you just make sure you can resolve most of the issues if they do visit, I think that's the message I have. Preemptive as opposed to waiting for the problems to happen. Make sure you're right before they visit you. That's the key to it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.